thank Mike Butkus for having his sons pick me up at the airport, and to keep this a secret from my college roommates, Billy Smart and Kenny Byers, who will be honored tonight. Why would I catch a flight out of LaGuardia today at 1 o'clock and return back tonight on an 8:40 flight? It's about lacrosse. It's about friendships you make over the years, things that you take for life. I wouldn't miss this night for the world. I see Billy Smart being acknowledged as this year's Georgia's Youth Coach of the Year, and I'd like to acknowledge those 2011 Hall of Fame inductees and the rest of tonight's honorees. I just wouldn't pass this night up. This is a very impressive event. We have our Long Island Foundation next Hall of Fame dinner next Saturday night, and I'm like kind of nervous because I thought, we were like the big guys, and I guess the one thing that's kind of missing is we have canned beer up there, so this is impressive. You guys went all out with the bottled beer. So as you get older, you become wiser, I hope. Someone once told me that you will not be remembered for your stats, like how many goals, how many assists, saves, or ground balls. Instead, you'll be remembered about how you were as a teammate. I was fortunate to talk to Ned Karate earlier, which is just an absolute 10 of a human being. And I'll tell you right now, I don't even know if his teammates would know his stats. They just want him to have the ball because they know something's going to happen, and that's what you'll be remembered for. I was fortunate to have played with many great players, and I can honestly tell you that I can't remember their stats one iota, but I would tell you what they would do for our team at any moment. Having been fortunate to receive awards as a player and as a coach, it's my championship rings that I cherish most, because those were achieved with my teammates, and that you don't celebrate alone. Let me correct myself on one minor issue. I do remember Billy's stats. He led the team in penalties. And I'm not sure if Kenny Byers had a goal that year. All kidding aside, it's 33 years ago that our paths crossed with Billy and Kenny, and our friendship I hold dear to my heart. I first came in contact with the so-called Atlanta Lacrosse Mafia back in 1992. When Billy asked me to play for the Atlanta team down at the Tampa Jam. It was a great time with a great group of guys. It was also the first time that I've ever been in a Hooters. And if I recall correctly, it was the first time I gave a waitress a tip before she even said a word. She had such a great personality. I see many of the guys here tonight that were in that on that team, and I just want to thank them for opening their arms to me tonight, and those days embrace another Yankee, which I thought 2 was the quota, but I guess they'll accept the 3rd. This is my 40th year coaching and playing lacrosse, and believe it or not, I still play competitively, and like many of the guys and gals in this room, I still play. And I played 2 weeks ago in Fort Lauderdale and had a blast. Seeing the old, and I quote, old friends, and still being able to play is awesome. Lacrosse is a funny sport and has such a great sense of political correctness. It started out division-wise, the open division, and then it went to the Masters division, which was 30 and over. See, the open division, you can still play. The Masters division is 30 and over. Then they moved to the Grand Masters, which is 45 and older, and there's nothing grand about that division. Heck, the trainer set up a drive-through. Everyone has a hamstring, everyone has an issue. It's like a nursing home at times. Then came the Centurions, which is the 50 and over. And the Centurion sounds like a Charles Heston movie. It's like, I'm like, where is this coming from? Now, this 50 plus, I recently heard that they're going to have a near-death division. The last tournament I played in a couple weeks back, I played in the Grand Masters division, and being that I'm 52 years old, I was eligible to play in the Centurions. So I walked over with a couple of my teammates, and I watched the Centurions play. And I'm playing there next year, because I told them, I said, this is like hunting in a fishbowl. I said, every attackman had a D cup and ran like they were constipated. It's a defenseman's fantasy. Okay, to shift gears a little bit, I wanted to talk about the sport of lacrosse and the impact it can have on a person's life. just by simply giving them a chance. The person I'll talk about is myself. As a 12-year-old kid wanting to play lacrosse in 1972, you had to be 13 years old to play contact sports in New York State. The junior high coach, Herb Friedman, he was an excellent coach, was also very intimidating. I was not a very skilled player. Matter of fact, I wasn't good at all. All I wanted to do was play. So I went to Coach Friedman, very nervously I might say, and told him that I don't turn 13 till halfway through the season. Would you allow me to be on the team? And when you're looking at a young kid, everything was hanging on him. And he told me, he goes, if you work hard every day, listen to what I say, and be a good teammate, you can be a member of this team. Guess that's close to 40 years ago. Never forgot it. A chance. All I wanted was a chance. And Herb Friedman gave me that chance. Who knows what would have happened if he didn't take the time to look at that 12-year-old and see that desire and that eagerness to play this game called lacrosse. I might have gone over to the baseball field. Oh. And my life, as you know, it would have been a complete 180. I would be on a couch complaining about the good old days. No. I proceeded to have great coaches who were also great role models. Bruce Betcher, the famous Joe Cuso, winningest coach at any level, and Tommy Postel. There was no kid that needed a role model more than I, because 3 years earlier, in 1968, my world was rocked with the death of my father. He died in line of duty as a New York City detective. There was a big void in my life, and these men guided me through what would be considered an absolutely traumatic event in a young boy's life. Why tell you this story? Well, because I want every parent, coach, and player in this room tonight to look at young players differently. The next time you see that squirrely little pain-in-the-ass kid who just drives you nuts, it's amazing what could have happened if someone just gave a person a chance. If you support them, encourage them, anything is possible. Hell, I still can't get over how much this sport has given me. From the championships won as a player and a coach to the friendships gained over 40 years, I look back at the day when Herb Friedman, and I can't imagine what life would have been if he said no. Billy Smart and I just wanted to play lacrosse. Billy didn't have lacrosse at his high school. His desire to play the game occurred when he was introduced to lacrosse at the middle school back in his old town of Levittown. That's a scary place. As you can see what it produced. Could you imagine if he stayed there till his senior year? It wasn't until Billy went to college and met Tommy Postel that he got his chance. Coach Postel gave him a chance and encouraged him to do the best he could, and I might add, discouraged him from trying to kill every player on the field. Billy treated opposing players as if someone had just killed his parents. Although Billy might have been the toughest player I ever played with, he was without question the funniest. Billy, myself, and a third teammate were known as the Hanson brothers from the movie Slapshot, an honor I'm truly proud of. In closing, I love this game and the friendships I've acquired over 40 years, and just wanted to tell you, give a kid a chance. You never know the impact you'll have on him. There are times when I step back and say to myself, I'm just a kid from Stony Brook, Long Island, and here I am tonight in Atlanta with a great group of people, and was recently selected to be the USA coach. Going to Finland. Hell, I never thought I'd be to Jersey. 1968, I'm like, Jersey was like Europe. So, I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I want to just say God bless you, and thank you for this moment to tell you.